We got KWC 21, Hallie.
So I'm Hallie. I'm from West Lafayette, Indiana originally, but now I am temporarily in Upland, Indiana, which is the smallest town you can ever think of. I have two amazing parents, Jeff and Corey, and my older brother, Drew, who is 18 months older than me. I don't always like him, but I always love him. Growing up, my relationship with the church was interesting because I just went solely for the donuts post-service and for the fun coloring sheets that they would have in the elementary classrooms. I thought, this is great. Food and art, my cup of tea. When I was walking into 6th grade, we decided to switch churches and my brother and I were not excited about it. We wanted to go to the old youth group at the old church. So when we walked in the doors of this new place, we were like, dang it. But the youth pastor called us out by name and was like, hey, you guys are gonna go. You're gonna go to youth group tonight. And we were like, absolutely not. But our parents were like, no, you're going. And we were like, dang it. But we ended up going, and then that youth pastor poured into our lives for the next couple years. There is this amazing couple at my church, the Brzezinskis, who have the biggest heart for Haiti, and they had been plugged in, and we decided to take a trip as a church. We would go into a school and we would all work together to do Bible lessons or just like PE, and it was a space that was not productive in learning. They did not have flushable toilets, they didn't have lights, they barely had windows. So for a kid to see their paper, they had to get really, really close. And it was just really loud because there was a lot of kids packed into one space just with dividers in between. And that's when we realized that there was a need for a new system. I ended up getting involved with our whole Haiti movement. It was actually called Project Refuge because Jane Brzezinski really just realized that I loved that place. Haiti really grabbed my heart from the beginning, and she realized that I could be a powerful kingdom worker for Haiti. So she asked me to join the Project Refuge team at our church and kind of get our youth group involved, as me being like the liaison between the two groups. In order to raise funds, we thought that we would just say, okay, we're gonna all try to build one wall of this classroom as a youth group. And the way that we did that is we sold these stickers. So it says, I bought a block, and each block was $10. So when they bought a block, so to say, they helped build that wall kind of, and then they could give the person the sticker that gave that $10. And it was really cool because soon my high school started filling up with these all over the place. They were on water bottles, they were on cars, they were on laptops, and that was just really cool for a huge public high school to be filled with something so far away in a completely different country of people that they've never met. The Project Refuge team realized that we needed some big thing that could get our community involved and our church involved and everyone have a hands-on action. So we decided to do a huge fundraising night, which is really interesting because my Kingdom Worker card from the year prior, I had been thinking on it a lot because it was not an easy one. It was do something big for your community, throw a party to get everyone together. And I was like, guys, I can't throw a party, but I thought this would be the perfect moment. So I kind of put that out there into our Project Refuge team, and they were like, you know what? That would be so fun. The planning process for this event was kind of a long process. It was about 2 months of just planning and trying to get all the logistics together. The event was, I don't know, Dad? Is he in here?
I think it's the night of Haiti.
Oh, okay. All right, let me read. I couldn't remember that.
Keep it.
In the planning of a night of Haiti, it was just kind of a big experience of Haiti. So we decided that we would just do a bunch of Haitian food, which consists of like some fun Haitian spaghetti, which is really interesting, and like just a bunch of cool Haitian crafts we were gonna auction, and a lot of stories from people who had attended Haiti. And we put about 2 months work into this project. It was not an easy thing to plan, but thankfully it turned out decently fun, and it was a great night to look back on. Fundraising has never been something that has come super easy for me. I would much rather put in a lot of work and try to raise the money on my own and by my own means than to ask other people for donations or ask them to buy something. So that was really challenging when it came to this project because I was like, man, I'm so passionate about this, but I just don't feel comfortable really asking all of my friends and family all the time for all of this money. But it's really funny because on the flip side of that, like, they all graciously gave because they realized the benefit of what I was doing. They did not see it as a burden, or they did not see it as, oh, Hallie is so needy, but they rather saw it as, this is something that will have great reward. We expected to maybe raise like $5,000. We were like, just anything is better than nothing. But then when all of the money was counted up, we raised over $25,000 that night in just under 3 hours, which just still sends chills throughout my whole entire body because that was nothing by our own doing, but all by God and His work and what He wanted to accomplish. Hi, my name is Hallie and I'm a Kingdom Worker.